Hey guys, I'm gonna make this video to show that there is nothing that a new bike can do that an old bike can't. This bike has a lot of history with me, and this is probably mostly the reason why I've never gotten rid of it yet. That and there ain't nothing that this thing can't do that a new bike will. But yeah, this whole bike was swamped when I bought it. I didn't have no controls on my handlebars. My original handlebars are right there on the wall. They're bent, and so are those ones. I bent those ones right after I put them on the bike. I bent them the next day up at my buddy's house. Them ones I bent a couple months later. But what have I done to this bike? I have put new front tire and need new back one, new sprockets, new handlebars, new grips and everything like that. I accidentally drilled a hole in my gas tank one day just working on it, and I patched that myself. I took an old gas tank, an old lawnmower gas tank, and melted it, and it was still on fire when I shoved it on there. Smeared it all over, and I haven't had a leak since, knock on wood. But yeah, rebuilt this bike. I rode it once with the old piston on it. Then I rebuilt it like the next day because it blew the top end and cracked the piston. But I did that. These were black. The inside of the number plates and the radiator shrouds were black for a while. They were red when I got them, but they are back to white now. What else? And there ain't really much if you consider, but I put new governor gear in it, fixed the power valve because it was 180 degrees upside down and it was too big. I had to grind the back of it down so it would open up properly. But yeah, fixed that, and now it rips just like any other bike would do today. I got lost one day earlier this summer in the woods. I made a wrong turn and I got myself lost, and I ended up doing a complete circle and ending up back down at the bottom of a really steep hill. And the only way out was to go up the hill because I already jumped a tank trap somebody dug in the middle of the woods and came back across it and dug the front end into the ground. But I did that, and on the hill I made it up at once. I don't know how I ended up back down in it the second time. I just did, but I made it up the hill once, got spun around somehow, ended up back down in it. And I was mad whenever I figured out where I messed up. But yeah, I had this thing, I had it cranked wide open. I was just feathering the clutch trying to get up the hill, and it just wasn't going. I actually had it running so hot that I was shooting sparks out of the silencer, believe it or not. I don't have no videos of that, but I left the bike there once it started shooting sparks, and I started walking. Then once I finally got back out on the road, I got picked up by my dad, and we went back and got a gator and pulled it up the hill. And surprisingly, it's still good compression. Everything's still good on it. It was 9 o'clock at night when I got it out of there. I fired it up and took off up the road on it. That just shows what these old Yamahas will do. But yeah, I had the wrong, you're probably going to say it was the wrong antifreeze anyway. That's why I had in it. And you're supposed to mix that stuff. It got hot really fast and started shooting sparks, so I just left it there and came back and got it later. Which I'm really glad I didn't just leave it on the trail, because somebody would have ended up with a very nice bike that will do anything you want it to do, knock on wood. I'm knocking on wood because I know I have that karma that I'll say something nice about the bike and all of a sudden I'll have a bottom end failing on me or something. That's just my luck. But yeah, I've done not really much to it compared to other people, but I've done a lot to this bike to keep it running. It's 28 years old. It's a 1988, so it's 20 years older than I am. But it does everything I want it to do, and I don't see why go out and spend $1,500 on a bike whenever I bought this one for $200 and it does everything I need it to do. I had to put a little money into it, but eventually you're gonna have to put money into every bike you get. Every bike, every quad. I know people who got YFZ 450s. They picked them up for $1,500 and now they got $3,000 into it. Just because they wanted a newer bike that's built for racing supposedly, but it's true, you get what you pay for, but sometimes it doesn't work out exactly like that. Sometimes if you pay less, you get more, and that goes with buying vehicles sometimes. Yeah, I gotta replace this back fender. I tore this thing apart 2 years ago and painted the frame, but I'm gonna take it in and get powder coated probably this winter. I don't know yet, but yeah, I need an idle screw and the nut for the top of that. I threw the nut whenever I first got it because I couldn't get the throttle cable going down into it, so I got it rigged right now. You can't see it, but it's just a clutch nut in there. But that's how it's rigged, and I don't got hardly any slack in the throttle, so I think it's fine. But I'm gonna try making vlogs more, cause I gotta do something to get my mind off of what's going on. But I'm gonna try making more vlogs like how I used to do it with my first channel I had. I've been really busy with small engines this summer, but what are you gonna do? I mean, you gotta make money somehow. YouTube ain't doing it. But yeah, and I would give you more riding footage, but I can't. Nobody will help me situate my helmet cam to where it needs to go. But once I get situated, I'll give you guys more riding footage if you want it. I mean, I'm gonna do it anyway. But yeah, see ya.